So she goes to the house. He's gone.
Okay, good.
He circles back and slashes her tires out front of the house. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was insane. So she calls
Did neighbors
me.
catch it? Did anyone catch it on camera?
Negative.
He is like a Danny Ocean.
No, he's full of Ocean's 15.
Oh my God. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Behind the Lockbox. I'm Stephanie Zalowski here with
Cameron Barbier.
And Gwen. She's back with us again this week. Today, we're very excited about the guest we have in house. We're sitting down with Griffin Christian.
You.
That's correct.
Longtime friend.
Yes.
Thank you for not saying Christian sin too, because that's like when first people meet me,
They want to do that
they
immediately.
love a good son at the end,
Or
you know?
sen, or
Yeah, it's like, come on, it's Christian.
Christian.
Yeah.
Like, I got it right. Don't
Easy.
worry. I did my homework. Griffin, you're the owner of Renovation Realty. I know many of you guys out there have seen their commercials. You guys are everywhere. When she told me, I was like, wait, what? Like,
Have you seen me on the commercial?
no.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm
Yeah.
so impressed. I was like, it's just like, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna get into that.
These headphones are funny.
They'll come off by the end.
I am on some of the commercials.
Are
with
you?
My dad, yeah, and I don't love that.
Kind of like in the
but-
background or whatever.
No,
Like,
no. I'm like right here, right now.
oh my God, I've never seen that
saying,
commercial.
Call Renovation Realty for your free home evaluation.
Damn it. Okay, well now I'm gonna be like,
works,
now
though.
I'm gonna video it.
You're like, I know that guy.
Yeah, and be like, hey,
Yeah.
right on social media. Mhm.
KUSI.
Yeah, that's where I usually see
Yeah.
the commercials. Yeah. All right. Well, I love it. You and Cam have known each other since grade school. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
What grade are we talking?
I probably knew you in like the 6th grade, just because
You did.
you went to you went to All
Kidding.
Hallows.
I did.
And a lot of my friends from Scripps Ranch were friends with you, went to school with you, and then Borelli.
Mm-hmm.
So like we met
Yeah.
definitely, but didn't come close till high school.
school.
High school.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's a long time.
I
We're,
know.
we're getting old, guys, just so you know.
Yeah, that was just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You wish.
Does anybody else call you Rin?
No.
My dad.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Baby Rin. So are Rin and Finn.
Yeah.
You're still on my phone as Finn.
You
Yeah.
are,
That's
by
why
the way.
Yeah, you're on Rin too. Yeah.
When I went to go text you, I had to text your wife and be like, can you
Yeah.
send me his number? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
why didn't I think to look
Oh,
at
and then
it?
Same
she
thing
shared the
happened.
contact with me. And just so you know, the profile picture in her phone of you two is circa high school.
Oh, really?
It was
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
good.
It was
Really?
good. I kept it. I was like, I'm just going to leave this contact in there like
Awesome.
it is. It's
That's
perfect.
funny.
It's perfect. You're a dad to an adorable baby girl who's about to turn 1.
Correct. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Baby Ivy. Ivy
She's
May.
keeping you busy these days, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Walking?
it's gotten a lot easier in the last
good.
few months. You know,
Yeah.
those first 6 months is pure survival.
Oh,
But-
Todd,
Yeah.
my brother.
You're
I hope
like-
he's hearing this.
Yeah.
Again, I told you I just
Todd,
became an aunt.
I just looked at the camera.
Yeah, that's okay. Talk to him. Tell him it gets easier.
Todd, listen to me, buddy. It gets way easier after the 6 months, okay?
I love it. You're a godsend because he doesn't want another one and I want him to have another one. So this is helpful. Okay, good. Griffin, welcome to Behind the Lockbox.
Thank you for having me.
When
You're
he
welcome.
walked in, and he opens, he's like, behind the gate.
Yeah. Welcome to Behind the Gate. with
Behind the
Rin.
door.
Yeah.
That's
I was like,
amazing.
nice.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, we were kind of briefly chatting about some of your stories, but I'm
Sure.
just going to let you jump in with everyone. I know you've got a ton of them.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have a lot of situations that kind of come with my business model.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like with just briefly, if anyone out there
Yeah,
doesn't
say
know.
what you do.
Yeah.
So we are a general contractor and a real estate broker,
Mm-hmm.
and basically we will just front the money of any construction work prior to selling your home. So
Okay.
I come into a lot of fixers and things like that, and like,
And with that, some situations.
yeah, a lot of people that, you know, may be pocket poor but have a lot of equity in their home.
Sure.
So it's like they may have inherited the home or something like that, and they've been living there rent free forever, and they have their hoarding situations or whatever have you. So we're able to go in there and say, hey, if we did X amount of work to your home, that it's going to increase the value by this much more.
Okay.
So basically what we would do is, or we do is, we pay for all that work. Say it's $100,000. We come in, we say, we need to do your kitchen, we need to do your bathrooms, we need to do flooring, paint, et cetera, et cetera.
And do they obviously have to move out?
Yeah, where did
Yeah.
What happens? How does that?
So They have to move out if we're doing enough work that makes it so they need to move out.
Okay.
There's certain situations where they can stay in the home, but it makes it more difficult. If we're just like, okay, you're going to stay in the home, then we're just going to do exterior paint.
Sure.
Or something like that.
Right.
Do some landscaping stuff outside.
It's not really interior.
It becomes, there's actually a situation right now of an owner-occupied home that we're doing that is a problem. I can tell you about that later if we have time.
Sure.
But most of the homes are vacant.
Okay.
For the model. So
Okay.
again, if I go in and I say, well, we'll give you cash for X amount, right? And then we would just flip it ourselves, and that homeowner would see it back on the market flipped and us making the profit 60 days later.
Got it. Okay.
But I tell them, okay, we'll use our money. You don't pay any interest.
Sure.
You don't pay anything through the whole process. We do all the work with I'm the GC.
Okay.
We do all the work up front. And then we're done with the work. We put it on the market with the real estate brokerage.
Okay.
We then sell the home when it's done with the renovation, and whatever amount we put into the house, whether it's 10 grand or 500 grand, we
Right.
get that paid back through escrow. So
That's
there's no
awesome.
out-of-pocket cost coming from the homeowner. They basically use our money with no interest to make, most of the time it's, $80,000 to $150,000 extra.
That's great.
So
That's a great business model.
Yeah.
I
it
mean,
lends
really is.
itself to, certain situations, but
Sure.
anybody that has a fixer, my opinion is that they shouldn't sell the home to an investor who's then going to make the money. I believe they should do the business model or do it themselves,
Right.
and make that extra profit that they deserve by being that homeowner.
100%. So
So-
that's great that you guys
Yeah.
have that model and do it that way. You're not, again, just to reiterate that's exactly what it is. You're not someone, I mean, you could, of course, have the flipping situation like you said,
do.
but that's not the model. The model is
No.
to make the homeowner that much more money
Yes.
and then sell it so that they're able to walk away with a little bit more,
Yeah,
which is great.
I don't really try to buy any of the homes. We will if they're just like, hey, take it.
I don't want, right.
I
Sure.
want out right now.
Sure.
But like, I peddle the model.
Yeah.
Use our money, make a bunch more money.
Yeah.
It's that
That's
simple.
great.
And the 80% of our business are like inherited homes,
Sure.
because everybody knows in the game right now that nobody's just like, I'm going to move from UC to La Jolla today.
Yeah.
There's situational situations,
Yes.
death, downsizing, divorce, moving
Correct.
out of state.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So my model lends itself really well to situational things because
does.
it's foundation problems, deferred
all
maintenance,
kinds of things. Yeah. Yeah.
hoarding,
You see that one
problem
a lot, huh?
rent, hoarding.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
I've been in some
a lot.
Some
You
pretty-
see my like videos
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I've been in a couple too, like Far
Yeah.
East. You're just
Yeah.
like, I cannot believe people live this way.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm
when
such
I
a clean freak. So
when
it
I
just-
put videos up on my Instagram or something,
are,
and
like,
people are like,
shocked.
how in the hell
Yeah.
are these people living like that?
Yeah.
And it is
It's
it's sad.
It is
is
sad.
sad.
It is.
I think it's like a
but like
disease, right?
it, I think so.
Yeah.
But it is actually kind of crazy that we're able to help those people a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Not only do we like renovate their home, and that's why this situation, the model becomes even more crazy, I guess you say, because those folks that we need to get out of the house in order to renovate their home, well, they can't afford to go rent somewhere.
Right.
So I pay for them to go to a hotel, to a rental, pay their first and last,
Oh,
pay
wow.
pay their
Wow.
monthly rent until the home sells, and that just gets added to what we're owed at
Owed
the end of the
back.
day, and they
Okay.
don't pay anything up front
Okay.
Wow.
because it still makes sense.
It does.
Right.
Because if I gave them, actually we call it seller's assistance. Here's 15 grand. To get you out of the house, you're still going to make a heck of a lot more if you just gave it away today to an investor.
Right.
So our cash advance program really helps us get more listings, because that's what
really
we're
cool.
in. We don't make a fortune on the construction side of things.
Yeah.
We do the construction for the listing,
Right.
Right.
because
And again, you're doing that yourselves. Like you've got
Yeah.
you and a team of
Yeah.
people that come through. Okay.
the construction we're able to keep kind of competitive, or
Okay.
more competitive than most, because we get a commission.
Sure.
In our it blended together between our markup on construction and the commission that we're getting on the sale, we're able to keep the renovation cost to a minimum.
To a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it works out really well.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
amazing.
Anyway,
But-
thank you for that. That was
Yeah,
it's
I
really cool.
figured before you tell a story, tell them
Yeah.
what I do.
What you
Because
do,
a lot
yes.
of people, since we launched the company, it was like 12 years ago, and we were the first people to do this model.
Okay.
And since then, other brokerages offer it in some fashion. Like,
yeah. Compass does.
Compass
It's
does,
Compass
yeah.
Concierge,
Yeah,
where it's
exact-
not
similar.
that insane.
Yeah.
Basically, they just front the money, and then
Yeah.
of course the agent helps, the homeowner like do everything,
Yeah,
right? Like
so
we have to hire in our own
let
contractors.
me ask you
that kind of
something
thing.
about that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've been wondering. It's not the easiest thing to run a renovation,
No, I just
sub
did
out
one.
and all this
I
stuff
just
to
did
different
one.
subs and getting
Yeah.
it done. Do you get paid more?
No.
No.
You should.
Oh, I know.
If you're doing being a general contractor to
Yeah.
the client
Yeah.
and selling it for them,
Yeah.
that's more work for the same pay.
Just
Yeah,
went
she
through
just
it.
did it.
Just
So-
went through it.
Just curious.
Yes, no, it's not. And we actually didn't take any money. The seller fronted it all herself. She didn't live here in town, and so therefore I ran the whole
Got it.
show.
But you're almost like expected. That's part of your job.
Yeah, but
Where
that's
it's
not a
totally-
normal
no,
real
it's not.
estate.
No, it's not. And
Because
not
like
everyone
I have
does it.
agents, a lot of agents in house, and they're great, and they've been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't feel comfortable with them
No.
even doing 100 jobs with me to run their own.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Anyways.
You got to learn quick, and it's
Yeah.
even a learning curve. Even with me, like having, different bids come through and different,
Yeah.
some contractors and all these things, like you do got to learn quick, but at the same time, you do got to learn quick.
Worked.
Clearly it worked really well for
Yeah.
me, you know what I mean? But it's one of those things that, we're not getting paid more when it's something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, no, that's
Interesting.
a good point. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm coming to work for you. Anyway,
Yeah.
go into your first story. Tell
Okay.
us, just hit us with it.
Okay, we'll start at the beginning.
Okay.
So I got a call just like any other lead. Like, come out to my house. It needs some work.
Okay.
And I pull up to the house, and standing out front is an old man.
Okay.
This guy's a legend, and he was like probably in his 80s.
Oh my
She
God.
lives in old
He
man.
was
I love
a
old
naval.
Oh,
What is
wow.
it? Vet.
Okay.
Right. In
Okay.
full not garment, uniform.
He was in uniform?
Yeah, in uniform.
Oh.
And I'm with two other of my team.
Okay.
Right. One agent, another project manager that came with me, and he's outside, and we walk up, and he says, "Hey, I just want to let you know that my stepson might try to scare you off." Right.
Oh.
Like he doesn't want me to sell the home kind of situation.
Okay.
And mind you, this kid is not a kid. He's a 40-year-old male, right?
Oh boy.
With a lot of problems. And he told us, he's got some issues and in and out of jail and that kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. But again, like I see this stuff kind of
Yeah.
Right, so
sometimes.
you're
and
just
I'm
like,
like,
it's
I'm like,
fine.
okay, it's fine. Like it
Right.
will work itself out.
Right.
So we go in, we're doing our thing, and we're taking photos and measurements and doing what we need to do. And he's kind of lurking around,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of awkward, obviously he didn't say anything, but like we could feel him, that vibe.
He's
Yeah,
just
the
like
vibe.
standing in
Walking
the
around.
corner, like staring. Yeah.
He was like walking around. He had no shoes on, and he looked like the classic. Like he was giving out the vibe that like he'd been in some domestic violence issues before.
Okay.
Classic wife beater, no shoes, and definitely messing around. With his girlfriend. And we do our thing, and then we end up walking out.
Were they the
front.
only two home? Just the old man?
Old
and then,
man, the step
Not his
son,
wife or-
no wife.
Okay.
And the I'm not going to call him a kid. The guy's
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Okay. So she's there too. Okay.
She's there too. I never really saw her.
Okay.
So I walk outside, and I'm taking some photos, and he comes up to me, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, your dad called us out, like I'm here to help him." And he's like, "Oh, everything's kind of grilling me." And I was like, "Hey, I'm not trying to take your house. I'm not trying to take his house. It's not this kid's house.
Right,
He's
it's-
not own it. It's a problem." So he's like, "Okay, whatever." And then we go back to or a few days later, the dad comes to our office, right, for our presentation. That's what we do. He's like, "Come to our office. We're going to give you a whole binder presentation."
Sure.
And he gets to the office, and I like greet him at the front, and he comes in and he walks back out. He's like, "Hold on a second." And he like walks out, and he looks around like this. I'm like, he comes back in. He's like, "Okay, I don't think he followed me." And I was like, "Oh, damn, it's like that."
And is he in danger living
Yeah.
with this
Oh,
guy?
yeah. And yeah. I'll tell you, it gets weird.
Sit down, baby.
So when he comes in, we sit down. He ends up telling us more about the situation, and that he's truly a victim of like elder abuse. Well, and like he can't leave the house. The kid will not allow him to like not leave the house, but like won't allow him to sell the house, won't leave the house. He's got 3 cars that are all broken down, like 2 of them in the garage, you know. And there's been police activity there. They've called elder abuse stuff, and like cops have been in and out of this place.
And they can't get him to leave.
No.
There's no way.
But the dad's also being
enabler.
But I wouldn't say that, manipulated, you know. And like,
he's 80 something.
Yeah.
And is his wife
Wife's
passed?
gone, yeah.
So he feels like he's stuck.
There is a stepdaughter to the problem child. Is what we call him,
okay.
Problem child, stepdaughter, lives in Arizona, and the dad is moving to go live with her.
Okay.
Dad has been desperately trying to get out of the house, away from the kid.
This guy. Yeah. Okay.
And so he comes in, he tells us all this stuff, and then we go and we give him our presentation. And I'm like, hey, this is what we need to do to sell your home for the top dollar. We're gonna do all this work. We're gonna flip the house.
Right.
And he's like, okay, this all looks great, but like, what can you give me for cash for the house? Because I want to get out of this place right away. You know, I can't deal with the problem child.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know, like, I'm not trying to do that. I want you to do this model because it will make you the most money. And that's what we care about.
Right. But he wants cash for keys.
He's like,
done.
He's like, I need to get out of here. And I like kind of told him, I was like, listen, like we deal with this quite often. And like we handle a lot of evictions for our clients, you know, because there's hoarders there, or there's renters that, especially during COVID, they couldn't really get them out.
Correct.
So and it's like Timble Tyree, and like there's these law firms that we use that will get them out, and we will also pay for that work, all that legal fee
to get everything
part of
done.
our process, and then get paid back at the end of the day.
Sure.
So I kind of like eased his mind, where I was like, hey, we deal with this, like it's gonna be okay.
Right.
Like, and so I give him a cash offer, and he's like, okay, well, if you could bump this up 10 grand, we got a deal. Okay. So I was like, okay, no problem, deal, done. Okay. We sign the RPA, whatever it is. Yeah. And meanwhile, my wife and I are looking for a home in this same part of town. So I think to myself, this would be perfect. We can wholesale it to Bailey and my wife and I.
Yeah.
And it was right before the COVID kind of boom thing that happened, whatever that was. Mm-hmm. And it was tough to get a house, you know, and I was like, this is perfect. We'll wholesale it to my wife and I, and we will live in this home. We're not just going to flip it. Yeah. This is going to be our family home. Yeah. So, my wife's all excited. We're like, okay, we're going through with this. And we open escrow. I think we put like a 45-day escrow. Okay. Maybe 60, because we knew that this kid wasn't going to just get out. Easy, and I keep on calling him a kid. He's a grown ass man, 40 or something.
Oh God.
So, nobody out there feels sorry for him. He was not a good guy. Anyways.
So office of you?
Yeah. Or Jim, you know.
You're Jim.
Big fan of Jim. So, 60-day, let's call it 60-day escrow.
Yeah.
Because we knew he wasn't going to get out that easily. The dad is like trying to get him out peacefully. And, you know, we did tell him like, hey, you might want to offer him cash for keys.
Right.
$5,000 now to help him get stuff out.
Right.
And then an additional $5,000 upon move out.
Right.
And, you know, for the next couple of weeks, we were kind of just like touching base with him. Like, hey, how's it going? Are you guys getting ready?
Was he still there, or had he gone to Arizona? Yeah.
Yeah. The dad would not leave until escrow was closed and in my name.
Okay.
Because he wasn't going to leave the house because the kid would take over the house and not sell it.
And or torch it or something.
Yeah. He wanted he didn't want to lose that control.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
So, he was here for the whole time. And then, so I keep in contact with him over the next couple of weeks, you know, and it's like, he's like, oh, he's not moving. Like he keeps telling me he's going to move and start moving, but he's not. And I know he's not.
Did he ever give him money to kind of
later?
Well, okay.
Yeah. And then, so like whatever, escrow's going. And because we are wholesaling, but we're buying it with a loan, there's still escrow and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So it comes time.
And you weren't obviously doing inspections or anything like that, because you're going to.
I already did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When I first walked the house, I knew, and I'm not scared.
Right.
I know what I'm looking for. I didn't need to go back.
And if you're going to buy this for yourself, you're going to gut the whole place anyway.
We were going to gut the whole thing.
Right.
So he it's time for the appraiser to go out, right?
Oh boy.
So, but I got to go back before the appraiser because I need to put up smoke alarm, CO2,
Sure,
and,
right.
and strap the water heater.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm going back to the house, and I should have gone with somebody for sure. But I was like, I don't know. I'm in the house and he's there.
Was the
problem
dad there
child.
too?
Yeah,
Okay.
dad and problem child.
Okay.
I put up the CO2.
Okay.
I put up the smokes. I strapped the water heater.
Okay.
And
he knows. I mean, he's been told like the house
Problem
is
child?
selling. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay. All right.
And when I leave, I know he's out front of the house, so I was like, well, shoot, I can't
Is he
really.
a big dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bigger than me, but we all know I'm scrappy. No, yeah, a big dude.
Okay.
More like big than like big. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yes.
But like still like tick.
Yeah.
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 And so I walk outside and he's standing in the driveway and he has lighters in his hands. And I guess it's a thing. Like you put lighters in your hands and you make fists with the lighters in your hands. It's like a punching technique.
In jail.
I think just in like the streets.
In the mean streets of
No,
San
but
Diego.
it's a
I've
thing.
never heard
It's
this.
a thing. I guess. Okay. So
I'm with you. Okay.
he's got these lighters in his hands and he like shows me the lighters.
And we're
then-
talking like,
and he makes this
what kind of lighters
fists.
are we talking? Are we talking
Just like Bics, like a normal lighter.
He's like making like brass knuckles with them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is
It's
essentially
to,
without like
to
the-
lock your fist.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then he comes at me.
Oh.
And
Swinging.
comes at me like arms like this coming at me. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
you got cuss on this
You
thing?
can
Yeah,
cuss.
Right? And he's coming at me like whatever. And I had my drill case,
Yeah.
because I had
is-
just
Yeah,
did the
it's
straps
heavy.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And my Milwaukee drill case. Shout out to Milwaukee.
No kidding, man. Save your life.
Obviously. And I did the old he came at me and I like swung it. Sorry, hit this freaking thing.
We told them to suck on the mic,
And did the swing
You
technique.
swung at him.
I didn't hit him. I wasn't even trying to hit him.
You
I
were
was
just
just like
trying to,
more
like,
like,
get
dude,
away.
get out of here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it kind of was like he was like a bull,
Oh
and I did
my
the
Yeah,
old
the
God.
red thing.
Oh
that
my
like
God.
move aside, I was like, because I was fast. The guy was like, he's kind of slow.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went, woo.
And then ran.
No.
Oh.
Well,
Should have.
I mean, I was definitely like, we started then going like yelling at each other. What I did do is I got off of his property, which is not his property, but squatters'
Yeah.
rights and all that stuff is weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
And
wanna mess with it.
so I went into the street and we were just yelling, screaming at each other, kind of.
That was
I wasn't
super
really
smart.
doing the screaming, but he
Of
was.
course. Yeah.
And he was like, basically, you lied to me. You said you weren't going to take my house, right? And
Oh,
I was like,
God.
dude, talk to your dad. Like,
Yeah.
he's trying to sell this house. Like, I'm just here to do what he wants.
Right.
And, but I told him, I was like, I'm not trying to take your house, but your dad wants what he wants. And he
Right.
wants
Right.
to sell this thing to get the heck away from you because you're an issue.
Right.
And he's, I start going to my truck and he's like, I'm going to find you. I'm going to,
Oh.
God. Just
threaten my
threatening
life.
you.
Oh yeah. Like heavy.
Yeah.
And he's like, so then I kept on saying like, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you, this and that. And then I got in my truck and I'm thinking to myself, well, shit, I'm not going to be too hard to find being that I'm going to move into that house that you're living in right now with my family.
Ugh.
Right.
Oh, my stomach just turned.
So I was like,
Was this only a couple years ago?
yeah.
Okay.
Why, you know about this story?
No. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, your baby's only one, I'm just like, this wasn't
Yeah.
like, okay. I didn't know how long you lived in this house now. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Don't want to spoil the end.
Yeah,
No,
no,
keep
keep
going.
going.
Keep going. Yeah.
So I'm obviously a little concerned.
Yeah, like,
You know
should
what
I
mean?
really go through with
yeah,
this?
and but that's what he was doing.
Of course.
He was
It's a
trying to
scare
intimidate
tactic.
me
Yeah.
to the
Did
point.
he know that you were going to buy it or no?
No.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Well, he
good.
knew that my company
Your
was.
company.
Right,
Was, yeah,
but
right.
but he
He
did
didn't know you were
not
gonna
know
live
that
there.
I would be living there.
Okay.
And that needed to not be known.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Right?
100%.
So I'm a little concerned, obviously,
Yeah.
right? But I know that he's just trying to threaten me to cancel the contract because
Yeah.
that's what he kept on saying, like
Yeah.
Trying to manipulate
cancel the
you.
contract or I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
F you
And
up. Yeah.
we had my wife and I had a lot of conversations, like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but we figured that if we were uncomfortable, after we did buy it, that we could just flip it.
100%.
And we don't have
You
to
just
live in the
sell it.
house
Yeah.
because we were getting it for off market cheap, you know,
Right.
kind of thing. And
Right.
it was a good investment. So I'm thinking to myself when I'm leaving, I'm like, okay, well, I can picture myself, you know, moved into the house. It's nice and renovated, and Sunday comes around and I'm
Look out
in my
your window.
robe, and I know I'm in my robe and I'm outside rinsing my
Your
truck
smoking
down.
jacket?
Yes, rinsing my truck down, listening to like Sheryl Crow or something. You know what I mean?
I was like, what's he gonna say? Tupac? What's he gonna
no,
say? Sheryl
Cheryl.
Crow.
Because there's a song. It's like washing their cars on a Sunday. You know, put it together.
Yes. Yeah.
Full circle.
Oh, Griff. Okay.
And
keep
then,
going.
so I'm out there washing, listening to Cheryl,
Yeah,
and
and
he
here he
pulls up,
comes.
Yeah.
and it's just he's like, he's
You're
just
here?
like, what the?
Yeah, and then it
it's
would
you
be
that's actually living in the house,
right.
you know?
Can you
You
imagine?
did this on purpose
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
and so again, we weren't sure what we were gonna do with the house.
Sure. Yeah.
So it carries on, and he doesn't get out. And I think it comes up to like 60 plus days of
Okay.
escrow, and I stay in it. We
Okay.
stay in it. I'm like, I'm not, because the dad would call me and they'd be like, please don't cancel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So I did it for him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good
But,
call.
So finally, after a lot of like, I guess you call it negotiation, it was like, give you cash for keys. You have to sign this thing right here in front of a third party that says I'm doing cash for keys. And if I come back, you be prosecuted for trespassing.
Okay.
Kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Not that he cared about
No.
signing
Right.
that, obviously. But finally, he gets out of the house.
Okay.
Right? And the day that it closes escrow, because I wasn't closing, obviously, until he was
He
out.
was out. Yeah.
No,
And then
yeah.
I also was like, I had something in the contract that's like, if I go back in after he left and he trashed the place,
Yeah.
I would get my price decrease.
Okay.
But he didn't. He didn't, and I didn't
That's
even care.
good.
I was like, just
Surprised,
get out.
actually.
Yeah. I am.
So,
too.
well, it also meant that he didn't get the remainder of his money. right?
Oh.
That's good. So he was probably like, fine, I'll just go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the day it closed, I had like 6-7 guys, and we stormed that castle, and we demoed everything immediately, the kitchen, bathrooms, just so in case he moved back in, he didn't have
He had
utilities.
nothing. That was brilliant. Okay.
And then changed all the locks, did all of that, right? And then I put up cameras. I put up cameras in the driveway. I put up cameras in the front door.
That was a good call.
And then I was like, okay, my plan is to chill. I'm going to put my cameras up, and I'm
And
going
just
to
watch.
wait and see if he comes back. Because
Yeah.
we've dealt with these people before, and they do kind of scram for the most part. But
Right.
this guy didn't.
He didn't really seem like the type that was just going to go away. So
No, he
easily.
didn't scram. So,
How
and
long did
all the
you-
neighbors are in on it. Like,
So they
for
know.
For
you guys.
dude, they're like,
And I'm sure they did.
they
not
want him
like,
gone.
Oh,
So, and like,
Yeah.
they all have cameras pointing at their house because there's been so many problems,
Oh,
and
God.
they're
Jeez.
trying to assure us.
you
that,
were like a knight in shining armor coming.
yeah,
through.
they were like really excited for us to live there,
I'm
kind of
sure.
thing, like a young family or whatever.
Yeah.
So I changed all the locks and this, and I put my cameras up, and then I have
Netflix and chill. You're watching.
what is it called? Ring camera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like I can see whatever is going on.
And you get an alert if someone there's
See an
movement.
alert. Oh yeah. And then so sure as shit, like the second night, he pulls
Couldn't
up
handle
at
it.
like 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
and tries to break into a few doors, the door on the side, garage door. He freaking steals my camera, the one up by the garage. Steals
just
the
rips
camera.
it down.
Yeah, just rips it down. And he's smart. He's like a freaking Danny Ocean or something. He like went around and then like went under the camera and took it, you know, so I couldn't. He had like a hood on and all things.
Wow.
So it happened more. It happened like 3 or 4 times of him.
But he just like kept coming back.
Yeah, and I kept on putting up a brand new camera because I
Son of
needed
a
to see it.
Bitch.
And then like I obviously
Was that
called,
the only one?
Wait, I skipped his part. I skipped a pretty big part.
Go back.
Okay, so remember when I went there and he attacked me or whatever?
Yes.
Milwaukee.
Because the appraiser was coming.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So the appraiser comes the next day and I tell him, you guys can't, or the kid cannot be here. For the
Yeah, because
appraiser.
if the appraiser, the appraiser will be like, I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, gotta leave. whatever. So the dad was like, okay, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone. So she, the appraiser,
Oh God.
not that it matters that she was a she or
Well,
a woman, but it kind
There
of
are
does.
very few of them,
Yeah.
by the way, and I've actually run across 2 that I just adore. And
Yeah.
yeah,
She
that's
was-
a
she was a
dangerous
champ.
situation for her. Yeah.
So she goes to the house. He's gone.
Okay, good.
He circles back and slashes her tires out front of the house. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was insane. So she calls
Did neighbors
me.
catch it? Did anyone catch it on camera?
Negative.
He is like a Danny Ocean.
No, he's full Ocean's 15.
Oh my God.
So she calls me and is like, that bastard
Yeah.
slashed my tires. So I was like, oh my God, I felt horrible.
Of
I was like,
course.
this sucks. And I had to pay for her tires.
Yeah.
You
And,
know,
like,
I was like, who
what
else
else
is
is he
going to?
capable of if he's going to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Behind the Lockbox is sponsored by Property Showcase Group. Property Showcase Group has a team of creatives, directors, producers, editors, marketing specialists, and designers that work in tandem to tell and share stories of the built environment. Whether you're looking for full-service production or simply just need content creation, Property Showcase Group can help take your business to the next level. To learn more or to contact Property Showcase Group to schedule a consultation, you can find them at propertyshowcasegroup.com. That's spelled PROPERTYSHOWCASEGROUP.com. PropertyShowcaseGroup.com.
So,
Pan back 2. You
That
own
happened.
it now.
Mhm.
He's taken how many of your cameras?
yeah, 2 or 3 cameras. And
Is that
tried
the
to
only
break
one you
in.
had, or did he not see the other ones?
That's a good question. He may not have seen the other ones because the one that I had on like above the garage was like that like round one.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's clear that it's a camera.
Yeah, the other one was like the doorbell one.
Yeah.
So he's
That-
kind of stupid too. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
could
yeah,
be.
Yeah.
Not sure. Anyways, so we start renovating the thing.
Okay.
Because that's the plan.
Right.
Right.
And you can only wait for so long.
But my plan was to renovate it slowly, I guess you'd say, myself doing.
Right.
Just to affordability. I was
Yeah.
going to do a lot of the work
You're going to be
myself
picking your finishes,
after
whatever. Yeah.
work.
Okay.
My plan was always I was just going to sleep there a few nights and
Okay.
work after work and things like that.
Okay.
But it wasn't that comfortable.
No.
You know what
Especially
I mean?
when
I mean,
someone-
like,
you
it
get
was
visitors
okay
at
with
3 a.m.
for me. I mean, like, especially when I had some guys there too with me. We have power tools, like
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
they don't usually come
But not
in
for
there.
Bailey.
But not for the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So, and I was way more concerned for her than she was. You know what I mean? She was
Yeah.
like
She's like,
that
"I'll get
guy.
him."
You know what
Let
I
me
mean?
at him with a
I
hammer,
want my,
yeah.
she was getting it ready for nesting.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
like
Don't mess
wanted
with
the
her.
house.
Yeah, of course.
So, but she also didn't like experience what I did with
Right.
him
Right.
and like all that stuff.
Right. Right.
So, we move forward with the renovation and he keeps on coming back, and, I told her that like, if he continues to come back, we need to strongly consider just selling it.
Yeah.
Because I think, like I said,
How are you ever going to stop that from happening?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That,
And even if it did stop for a little bit, I feel like that'd always be in the back of your
yeah.
mind.
Yeah. No,
Or
it
if
was,
you call the cops and he gets arrested, then he knows it was you, and he comes
Yeah.
back when he gets out of jail. Like, right.
oh, and we thought about all of that.
Oh, yeah.
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 But the thing about the cops, which I love cops. But
I do too.
they like can't just arrest somebody.
No, they
you
can't.
They don't
So
have-
like I would be like, hey, I know the guy's name, I got
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
about him.
Camera.
But they're like,
And half the time, again, he's a Danny Ocean. So
Yeah.
by the time you call the
He knew
cops
what he
and
was
they're
doing.
able to get out there, he's gone.
right.
so then I had my Ring camera set up on my phone that anytime a car came by, it lit up, and it would come. It wasn't a busy street, but it happened a lot. So
Right.
I was like not sleeping
Yeah,
because
'cause
I
every
wanted to catch him.
Right.
So I could call the cops and say,
Right.
go
He's
over there
here.
right now
He's there,
and
he's
get
there,
him.
yeah.
Because if not, like even the appraiser called the cops and they couldn't do anything about the slashing tires thing.
That's crazy.
So I was just like in this weird paranoia,
Yeah.
but also working at the house like every day.
Right.
So it was
Right.
funny that he never came by
When you were
when
actually
I was there during the day, which I figured like in the 40 days it took me to renovate that thing that he would show up, drive by, and
Something.
I was out front and we would have an issue.
Right. And no.
Um,
Interesting.
and then we see, we decided that we were going to.
Did it ever stop? Like, did he stop by the time you got done renovating it? Had he come back at that point ever, or had there been a lull?
He had come back, but he didn't do anything. He didn't he didn't try to break in, he didn't do anything.
Which
like
I also
that.
feel like there's, again, a psychological thing there where he knows there's a camera and he's just walking the property, which again, it's trespassing. But
And the one time he came by in the daytime, and I was in Newport Beach, and I saw him on the camera, and I was like, oh, this is
anybody there?
This is my chance, No,
right.
The house was empty.
Okay.
Because we weren't living in the house.
Right.
We were living in our rental.
Okay.
And I was like, this is my chance.
Yeah.
And I ended up calling the neighbor of that house.
Okay.
And I was like, because he knows him well since he was kind of a kid.
Right.
And he was like, I'm gonna go grab him or talk to him or whatever. And then on the cameras that I had up, I swear to God, the cops were coming, right? And because the neighbor called the cops.
Okay.
And the cops pull up. And I swear to you not that he just passes this side fence over here.
On foot?
And, yeah, he just walks across the corner. And as he escapes the view of the camera, the cops pulled up.
So they just missed
And they
him.
just missed him. And he just gets away. And I'm like, this guy is good.
He's real good.
He's good. With my help, he could be the best. And so it gets to the point that we are not comfortable living in the home.
Yeah.
With my family.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, funny as it is me saying, oh, stand outside and him come over, but it's dangerous.
Yes.
We decided to just sell it.
Okay.
And it just so happened to be that the market did what it did.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was a blessing. It was a lot of work. And a lot of stress to get to that point. But we were rewarded kind of with the sale of the property, and then we were able to roll it into our now house, right?
Which is great.
Because the vibe there was just weird.
Yeah, I mean, even if it would have stopped, I don't know if I would have.
felt comfortable.
I know. And then there was before it closed escrow, because we did have to tell the buyer.
Yeah.
Right.
We had to disclose that there
that
was
was actually going to be my next question. How much
Yeah.
of that do you have to disclose? Because I've never had
Wow.
anything like that.
So we had a
Oh yeah.
we had
that's
a
right.
police report. We
Forgot
had
about
we had to give the police report, and we kind of just wrote up a letter that said, hey, he has come back this many times. He stole this and that. But I think because at that point, people were taking homes and saying, just give it to me.
Yeah,
They didn't even care.
No
Our inventory
repairs,
was so
no
tight.
termite,
It
no
didn't
nothing.
matter. Yeah.
It really
it could
helped.
have been a better time to sell that type of property.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But during escrow, he called my office, and he said, me and my homies are coming to the house tonight, and whoever's there, it needs to get out of our way, and we're taking over the house or something.
Thanks for the warning.
So I was like, oh, this sucks, because I did all the work, and I'm in escrow, and we were like, we just wanted to get this freaking thing
Closed.
out of our lives. And so I called a friend that
Do I know?
that you call if
Yeah, if
there's
you
a
need
situation.
something. Yeah.
Do I know this person?
Let's
know.
call
Do I
him.
know of
Let's
them?
call him like a cleaner. No, you know what I mean. Just
I do.
somebody that will come and isn't.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Well, I'm scary.
Yeah,
too,
obviously.
but just a
But he
little
knows you, so
backup.
that's
exactly.
Yeah.
So we sat there for 5 hours, just ready, and never
Nothing
showed
came?
up. And I was like, I think it was just that scare tactic.
Of course,
Again, but
yeah.
so we ended up selling the property.
I would have been so jumpy. Every little noise,
And-
I would have been
now,
with my hammer.
like the next house that we bought, I don't want to talk to a neighbor. I don't want to know
Anything.
who lived here before, who
No.
died, who did
No.
this, who did that. Just leave me alone. Let me start fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was enough to do you in.
Oh my God. It was
That's
it
wild.
was super, super stressful.
I can't even imagine. And again, this is nothing that the ordinary agent necessarily
Yeah.
deals with, because your business model is just so
Yeah.
different.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope you never have to deal with that again.
Yeah, I don't think I will to that
Extent.
Extent.
Yeah.
Especially if you see something like this coming again, then I definitely think
Mm-hmm.
you can then be like, yeah, I think we're going to pass on
But
this one.
it all just came back to that I was planning on personally living in that
Yeah, that
house
changed
with
a
my,
lot.
and that changed my comfortability. You know, obviously I don't wish that any.
Yeah.
I don't care whether the next person goes in. You can come and do whatever you know.
I wonder if there's been anything.
There
know.
hasn't.
Oh, good.
That's
I
good.
was actually the buyers are super cool, and
He probably just had it out for you because
Yeah.
you were the
For
one
sure.
that took
I
his dad
think-
his house and like
think
whatever,
so.
you know. So
How's the veteran?
I
Yeah,
haven't
have you
talked to
talked to
him.
You should
No.
reach out.
Oh, you
I don't
should
think
check in
so.
with
I
him.
kind of wanted to just.
Oh, you're
just,
done.
like,
It's you can't
That's
do it.
true.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I didn't even really like talking about it, but like.
I mean,
behind
We
the
are.
lockbox, you know what I mean?
Let it out.
let it out. I doubt he listens. You're probably safe.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But I'm glad that the buyers got that house, and I
Yeah.
have spoke to them. You know, not recently, but like
Sure.
months after
Yeah.
closing, they had questions about some of the renovations and like
Right.
grass and water and shut
Yeah.
off valves and things like
Yeah,
that. That
yeah.
I've helped them with, but
That's good.
I've driven by a couple times
And
I'm
everything
just-
seems fine. Just
I
gives
just
you like the
don't-
biggest
I don't
heebie-jeebies.
even like driving
Driving down
by
the
it
street.
because
Oh, I
like
bet.
every day I'd drive by in the morning, and because he said he was going to be out, you know, and I drive by and there's his car with the girlfriend's car, and like it was it was a stressful time.
I mean, there's listings, excuse me, that I've even sold that I'm like, ugh, like it just
Yeah, you don't want to go back.
no, like the vibe is really off, and it's unfortunate. That doesn't always
Yeah.
happen, but it does sometimes. I mean, there's one in particular that I don't,
Yeah.
you know, and I loved the buyers that bought it. And I actually was just talking to somebody else about this, because I really want to see like what he's done to it, because he's also a general contractor, and like him and his dad have many real estate holdings in New
Yeah.
York, and like they're real, like, you know, this is not their first rodeo. And I was so glad that he stuck in there and was the buyer and like
Yeah.
closed that deal with us. But like, it was rough. It was
Yeah.
really, really rough, and it was really toxic. And I was just like, this is not worth.
Yeah.
I should have earned 5 times that commission. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it is not worth it. And
Yeah.
like, again, when you're then doing all the work and everything else, like that's insane.
Yeah, it was
God.
it was wild,
Yeah.
but decent story.
Yeah,
Slash
that's-
tires.
yeah.
It's like Ramon, when Ramon had that listing and they set the house on fire twice.
No way.
Yeah.
Twice they came
The
back.
the old tenant. Or
Yeah,
something?
so it was
Well,
it was a similar situation in
Yeah.
terms of like
Elder
elder
abuse.
abuse.
Oh my God.
It was a woman, and she basically like, we still don't even know to this day
The relationship.
the relationship, because it wasn't like a stepson or anything. I think,
Oh.
and they had family that lived down the street, but he described it in the episode as a very Friday episode, like
Yeah.
they were working out in the front yard kind of
Oh,
thing, and it
got
was
it,
down
got it,
in the
got it.
South Bay. And this was back in 2007, 2008,
Mm-hmm.
cash for keys time, all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, he was just trying to take care of her and get her out, and she was going to go live with some family because the situation was just like not great.
Got it.
And so after they closed, his investor closed escrow, I mean, it was them, like allegedly, so we don't get
Yeah.
sued, right?
That's
But like
crazy.
they came back and torched the house, and then he got everything back put together, sticks back up. Like it was basically new construction in a neighborhood that could not hold like he wasn't
Yeah.
going to get his money back out of it, right?
Interesting.
Torched it again.
That's insane.
Double torch. Yeah.
It's insane. Like,
Double down on the torch.
oh yeah. So I'm shocked and so
Yeah.
grateful that did not happen
Yeah.
to you, because
It
this
would-
guy had that.
The demon.
Well, you know, he was carrying around Bic lighter, so he was ready to go.
Yeah, I
Jesus.
still don't know what that was.
I'm
about.
still so. I'm like, how does
You're like,
that-
what do you mean?
I want to see. I'm like, what kind of lighter? A Zippo?
Yeah.
A Bic? Like, what are we talking here?
Yeah.
The long ones, like the fireplace one. He's all, come at me. It's like sticking through
Yeah.
a sword. That's insane. Okay.
Yeah.
Max already held up his 5 minutes because that was such a good long story. Do you have a quick
Was it
short
long?
one? It was, but it was good.
Okay, good.
I liked it. We have a game we can play.
I got a
or-
short one.
Okay, give us a short one.
It's a short
Okay.
one.
A few
I know
months
you've got
ago-
like 50 of them, so yeah.
A few
You're gonna have
months.
to come back.
A few months ago, I was doing a house in the Claremont area.
Okay.
The renovating the house, and I was about done with the renovation. The only thing that
Claremont's
I needed
pretty
to do,
big.
Do you want me to tell you where?
Yeah, can you? You don't have to say the street name.
Yeah, like
East, west.
west.
Oh, it
like
was on the
off
west side.
of right by the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And so the house is vacant. The
Sure.
owner was out of state. We do that a
Okay.
lot.
Yep.
And there was, like, the night before, there was a domestic violence dispute with a man and woman.
At the house.
No.
Oh, okay.
A house like a few blocks away.
Okay.
And something happened. He beat her up or something
Yeah.
like that. And then
Right.
there was a SWAT standoff at that house that was down the street.
Okay.
And this guy was another, apparently, Danny Ocean.
Psychopath.
No, he was an escape artist. And during the SWAT standoff, there was helicopters and people on other roofs and on this one house. And he just slid out.
Where'd he go?
Well, he ends up in a house that I'm doing.
Of course.
But so he gets away or whatever. And then
During SWAT monitoring the house, like.
And I found this all out later. But
Okay.
like, I get a call when I'm at another job walk.
Okay.
And the neighbor called me and was like, "Hey, there was a shooting in the backyard of the house and somebody's dead in the backyard."
Of your
Of
house.
your house?
Of the house that, well,
that
the owner's
you're
house.
working.
Yeah, that I'm working on.
Okay, so the owner's out of state, the house is vacant,
Yeah.
but you're under contract with this and you're renovating it
Yeah.
to sell it.
And now you
Yes.
have to disclose that.
And so, yeah, they said there's a dead person in the backyard. And I was like, I immediately thought that it was one of my guys.
Oh my God.
That was working on the house.
Right.
Like
You
maybe there
freak
was an
out.
altercation with
Right.
somebody that came to the house or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And so I start calling all my guys that are there and like
wow.
nobody's answering. And I don't know if my guys are there or not,
Oh my
but
God.
so I was really concerned. Obviously, I called a bunch of people and it was not one of my guys. It was
Thank
not one
God.
of my
Thank
friends, not guys.
Yeah.
But so what I found out when I got there is that there was a SWAT standoff the night before. That man got away that night. And then the next day, and this is the next day where I get called. So in the middle of the day, he comes back to the neighborhood. And somebody in the neighborhood sees him and calls the cops.
Okay.
So they pursue him on foot or whatever, and he starts jumping through houses, like in the backyard.
Over fences, yeah.
And he ends up in my house, in the backyard, of course.
Yeah.
Pool's empty, and he holes up in this little washer and dryer nook in the back patio area.
Oh my God.
And whatever, cops come after him, and he shot himself, right? And so what I didn't know is that the coroner takes the bodies,
Okay.
but you're tasked with cleaning it up.
No.
Because it's private property. If it was done on the street, sure, they clean, do the whole thing. But they basically took him and were like, see ya later, and took off the tape. And it was just like, it was like, it happened so quick for some reason. So then the next day,
Oh my God.
I had to go and check it out, obviously, and see the damage and what we had to do to fix it. And I was a little worried. So, or not worried, a little scared, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Who sees that
Yeah.
stuff?
so I called Andrew Skunk. Get over here.
He's like, yeah, I got it.
I don't know who that is, but he sounds like a
Not
good
the
guy.
same guy that I called to protect me.
How
I'll
many
tell you that.
fixers do you have over here? Like, I think I need
I
some
don't know.
numbers.
Wait, we need
30?
Skunk on here too.
I think I got 30 going right now or something.
Okay.
Call me if you need anything because I got about 30 jobs coming up soon. But it's smart for
Oh
buyer's
my
agents if you
God.
want first looks at houses that are not on the market.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
That's
go in
wild.
and it's pretty bad,
And it's in the like laundry room nook.
It's in the backyard. But if you go out the back slider, to the left is the laundry hookups in this little like kind of cement little alcove.
kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's bad. Like
There's stuff everywhere.
Oh yeah, the
Okay.
brain and
Oh,
like
I was just
everything
gonna
is
ask
pretty
that.
heavy.
No way.
Oh yeah.
You saw that?
Oh yeah, I got photos. I'll show you after
Yeah,
this.
I want to see.
Oh, well, only if you want to.
Yeah,
do.
I mean, I'll
Yeah,
look at it.
it's
but-
intriguing.
Wow.
So we have to clean it. Whatever. I didn't clean it.
you hired.
I called my boy.
Andrew.
this poor guy.
No, I called the same
Bailey.
person same person I use for to haul junk and stuff. Like
Yes, they can come in
And
disinfect.
I told him grab a mask, and there happened to be in the patio like a French drain, You know,
Okay.
so we kind of just power washed it and came out good, and we painted it, whatever.
And it's okay.
And then, but the thing was that I'm not a crime scene specialist.
Same.
You're not?
But
I kind of am.
I have watched so many.
CSI.
CSI's like, ugh, it's fake.
That's old school.
I like watching the real ones
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
that
Like the true crime
the
stuff.
true crime, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Not Dexter.
I go back there. Dexter.
love
I know.
Dexter.
Well, I look like Dexter.
I mean,
That's what people say.
Oh.
Do I?
yeah.
I was
yeah,
Dexter.
bit.
I was Dexter for Halloween. I just
Yeah.
put on an apron.
They're like,
Anyways,
trust me, I have experience with this.
yeah.
Anyway.
So I go back
Wow.
there and I'm looking at it, and it doesn't add up.
What do you mean?
Where it happened doesn't add up for the splatter. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I bring my strings, right? And I'm, when you string the
Yes.
blood, I'm just kidding. I did the spring.
Oh my God, I really believed you. I was like, you did? Do you have
like, why
pictures
do you
of
call
that?
No, but like I was like looking like, where did it happen here, and like how did the splatter go if he was there and shot himself like that?
And they cleaned it up so quickly you couldn't even
So I
investigate.
think it was a conspiracy. I think he was killed by the police. I love the cops though.
Keep saying that.
I love
Well,
a good
I mean,
conspiracy.
So
does it matter?
it doesn't matter.
I mean,
It
because
doesn't matter.
regardless, like if he had a gun, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they're trained to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, he took his own life. You know,
Wow.
I'm
whether it's suicide by
making,
cop or whatever. Yeah.
dramatization.
Yeah. Maybe you should have a true crime podcast.
Oh, I would love that actually.
You really should.
The did you see there's a show called True Crime Podcast?
No.
I feel like
It's really
A show.
there are
It's really
many.
strong.
It's a show.
It's a show about people that are
Podcast.
doing a true crime.
True crime.
I'm
with
not going
you.
to be a good true crime podcaster if I can't say it.
Can't get the words out.
So
There's a
Yeah, it's
lot
good.
of true crime podcasts, and there's one that I listen to in particular, and she's actually been like asked by the cops for help
yeah,
with stuff.
is
Oh,
that
wow.
Serial? Serial that
No, but I've heard of
that's
that
good.
one.
That's super good.
Crap, what is this one called? My best friend is like obsessed with true crime. She would know. But her name is Alexis Linkletter. She's the one that does it. She has a couple of them. Linkletter.
Couple
She's up in LA.
podcasts?
Yeah, she's up in LA.
Wow.
And I also listen to another podcast called The Lady Gang. I know you're not, but I love them for years. And Jack Vanek, who is on that podcast, her and Alexis do this true crime, and then Alexis has like another spinoff one. And I mean, they were doing like the Long Island serial killer,
That
and
was
like
good.
it was. I've learned
Yeah.
that whole thing is nuts. Anyway, we're
So
not
anyways,
true crime podcast.
I went. We cleaned it up, and I went back actually, and we moved a washer and dryer, and there 2 cell phones and an Apple Watch, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like they didn't even like.
Yeah,
They
investigate.
didn't even
this
investigate
stuff?
this damn thing. You know,
I feel like, excuse me.
I'm doing more than them.
You should get paid for
You know,
this.
so like I called the inspector, detective, and I was like, dude, I found like all your evidence. You know,
Do your job.
yeah,
please.
it's like
Come
what do
get
I
it, please.
like? What else
I even
do I
did
need
put
to
it
do?
in a baggie for you.
What else
I wore
do you want
gloves.
from
My
me?
fingerprints aren't on it.
Yeah, gave it to him, whatever, and then again with the disclosure,
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you?
we said what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the news and stuff. like,
Yeah, and I mean,
you
it's
know,
not like someone that lived there did it, so there's not bad juju that way.
but there
Yeah.
is bad juju,
well,
like for certain people. So
Yeah.
Oh,
for the first 2
there
buyers,
would be for me probably.
First 2 buyers backed out.
Yeah.
When they heard about
this.
it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But then the third one stuck in it,
Yeah.
and they we got probably 30 grand less than we thought we were gonna
Yeah.
get, and
Okay.
it probably had a lot to do with it.
Okay. Okay.
So this guy
Mm-hmm.
was SWAT team for abuse. Like, was there more to the story about this dude?
Well, I know that he had a gun, so that's probably why they
SWAT
they
team
called.
came?
And I don't know his rap
Background.
sheet.
yeah,
his
who knows?
backstory.
I mean, yeah.
I'm surprised because
Yeah,
clearly
well,
did all the.
Yeah, I
the
did
work
all the
on this.
legwork,
Yeah.
didn't I?
This actually happened at a house right around the corner from the house that we moved into when I was a senior in high school. And all of a sudden SWAT emerged and everything, and he was held up and he was holding his wife or girlfriend hostage. He eventually let her go and then stayed. They sent in a robot because it had been like 24 hours, and like we couldn't necessarily we had to like get clearance to leave, and it
Yeah.
was just
Oh,
like
wow.
it was a whole thing. And he killed himself inside. And so they ended up like having to clean it up, and it sat vacant for a long time, and then it finally sold again. But yeah,
that's really weird.
But he lived there. That's a little more eerie.
That's
for me.
definitely more eerie.
And at least it wasn't in the house; it was outside.
Yeah,
he was clearly deranged. Whatever. Anyway, okay, you want to play a game?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Michael Scott. Oh wait, no, you're.
No,
you're
he'd
Jim.
say, yes.
What's the craziest or pettiest thing that's ever killed or almost killed one of your deals?
Other than somebody.
Can you repeat that question?
What's the craziest or pettiest thing that's ever killed or almost killed one of your deals?
Someone last episode or 2 episodes ago said a refrigerator seal.
Besides a dead body.
Yeah.
Trying to think of that one. That was tough. You should have like
given these to you ahead of time.
Yeah, because like I don't know if I have a good answer for that.
That's okay if you don't. It's okay if you don't. No, they're supposed to be rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
If you want
in escrow, like has anything almost fallen out because of something so stupid? I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I just can't think of
That's okay.
a good one. Give me the next one.
Yeah, if you think of it later, come back to it. Pass. Oh, we haven't had anybody pass yet. Okay.
What's the weirdest thing or situation you've ever walked in on?
Personal life or
either?
So many people say that. They're like, wait, personal or professional? I'm like,
I always say personal.
I don't know. Hit me with both. Professional.
Oh, man. We get a lot of people like in the bed. No, that's weird.
Yeah, like still sleeping or.
Yeah, but that's not very good.
It's creepy
I feel like
though.
You see this stuff so much.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm going
just
through
like,
my head is like I've
constant.
opened doors and there's sex dolls everywhere and
to your house.
That's my personal house.
That's the personal one. Got it. Okay, cool.
Every day when I open my door, nobody should.
He really
but
should.
There's a lot of strange
things,
very strange stuff that we walk into. The hoarding situations, and stuff like that,
and things that you probably see around and find that are just like trash.
Oh yeah, like a few months ago, a fridge full of explosives and gunpowder.
Shit!
I had to call Chempack.
A fridge.
Shout out to Rod Buck. And they actually ended up coming and removing it and found a brick of cocaine. Oh. Yeah. And I had a chemical warfare issue at a house in Poway that they left so much stuff in the house that it was impossible to go through. And we ended up throwing away stuff that my guys didn't know what it was because it was in a lot of weird shit and containers. Right, and they're just throwing it away. Threw it away at the dump. Dump finds this crazy flammable stuff and the address was on a lot of the debris from all the trash out. They called me and they freaking roped off the house and I got fined. Well, not me, $50,000.
Oh no.
The homeowner had to pay because of what was at the house.
Was it like, was it his stuff?
The inherited home.
Okay.
It was the brother and the dad that were working on, they're scientists and they were working on some plastic patents, so beakers and crazy stuff.
So it's looked
like Breaking
sketchy.
Bad. Yeah, well, that's why they came out because they think it could be a meth lab
or
right?
whatever.
So
yeah,
they that was weird. I had to go to like.
That's wild.
That's really crazy.
A court proceeding kind of thing.
Oh my god!
Really?
I want to start working with you just to come like see all this crazy. I need some stories.
Some of them are easy. Some of them are.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Or
but
what
then
they are. And then like Andrew had one the other day. Weird houses that Occupied House was telling you about. We weren't able to do all the work we wanted to do because they wouldn't leave. They weren't willing to leave the house to do more work. And they have a problem child. Again, he's 40.
Oh my God.
But drugs and things like that. So we knew he was going to be a problem and we had an open house. He wouldn't leave the house for the open house. The mom and dad left. He stayed in his room. Andrew
40-year-old
is
man
the
stays
agent
in his room.
Andrew's the agent, right? So he's like, he goes in there and like talks to him a little bit and he ends up coming out and helping him with the open house. Like,
helping?
Andrew sweet talked him?
No, he wasn't like, come help me. He was just like, wanted to try to like make some sort of relationship. So
that's what I mean. He was like, hey man, like I'm here. It's cool.
Yeah. So he ended up like coming out and like when the people would come in, let me show you around, like to my house, but this is not the person you want showing.
No, but like at least he wasn't like causing issues.
So at the end of the day, he's like, hey man, that was super fun. Like, let's do
job?
it. No, he said, let's do it again next week. I'll wear my tux.
Aww.
Yeah.
Did
So
he?
I don't know. He hasn't done another open house. He should though.
Yeah, he should, because I want some. Can you please send photos? Tell him to send us photos of him
I want to see the
and
tux.
the
tux.
40-year-old problem child in the tux. He was
Yeah.
gonna wear a tux. That's
really
adorable.
cute.
And I mean, there's so many things like we have a cash advance thing. Like I said, you get offer you seller's assistance to help you move out of the house. Well, I've given people 10 grand, and then next time I see them, they pull up in a Mercedes, and I'm like, that's not what it's for.
Are you
That's-
gonna live in that Mercedes?
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
say, that's
for
your home.
you to rent a place and be out of the house.
God.
And like,
People
you know,
are
they go on
just-
vacations, and like, it's crazy. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But it all works out,
It does.
and
Okay,
we
wait.
help a lot of people.
I'm really excited for the last question because I have no idea what he's gonna say.
If you could be anything other than a real estate agent, what would you be and why? In contractor.
Yeah. /
Okay, I just want to
GC.
make this really clear. I am not a real estate agent, and if that affects me
Wait,
being
you're
on
not?
your podcast, no.
Well, general contractor.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You own. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you
so
see all
I
this
was
stuff. Yeah.
I was an agent.
Oh my god! And by the way, we've been saying we're going to branch out to like home inspectors and GCs and stuff. So you're
Yeah.
the first one.
So I was.
But and if you could do
licensed
anything other
salesperson.
than this business, what
Yeah.
would you do?
If I could do anything else other than this business, what would I do? I would like to like work for the Padres.
Oh,
You know what I
let's
mean?
Get him
Like
a job.
I would like to be like a,
Like own them.
no, I don't want that.
You don't want to work for them?
No.
Oh,
No, I like what I do.
okay.
For sure.
But if you could, if
If
you
I,
if
like,
you were
had-
like retired,
Oh,
and
retired.
like, yeah, you could be retired. You could just quit. You could, do
Quit.
anything.
What would I do if I quit?
Working for the Padres would be pretty fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
It would be kind of cool, huh?
You could be the head boy. Would you be the mascot?
You'd be a good mascot.
I could see it.
The Friar? He's like fat. and-
What's it
No,
called?
his
Oh.
costume is fat.
Oh, is that it?
I don't think the actual guy is.
Maybe.
He's
You
got to
never
dance
know.
around a lot.
He does. He's probably. Oh, you know what? He's probably fit because it's hot as hell in that.
Probably
Yeah.
fit as all get
He's
out.
probably so
do you know?
sweaty.
Do you know the Friar, the real Friar Max?
It's
You
him.
do?
It's
Yeah,
Max.
you do?
It's Max.
Oh my god!
No wonder you're so thin.
Wait, is he fit or is he fat? I don't know. Oh,
Oh.
in my mind, he's fit. Oh my
Like
god.
this hot
Anyway,
guy in
well, this
there.
was unhinged.
I
and
would
I'm
actually
loving
like
every minute.
to.
Apply.
If I was like 20,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to work for Red Bull.
Oh, my brother worked for them.
I don't love. I'm
see
not
that.
saying that I love the drink.
Not Celsius?
Celsius.
What is it?
Celsius.
So-
Oh my god, he walked in today
did-
with a Celsius, and Cam immediately. I missed the conversation, but he's like, he has this look on his face. I'm like, "Hi, are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm gonna put this down." Cam says I'm gonna have a heart attack if
Yeah.
I keep drinking it. And then
Yeah.
we're like, "Do you want your Celsius?" He's like, "No, it induces heart attacks."
Well, the thing is every time I watch a podcast, somebody on the damn thing's got a Celsius.
Oh, we should have just brought it to you.
You know, maybe it's like
Paid programming.
exactly.
Probably. We're not getting paid yet, so
Yeah, but
maybe someday.
Red
No,
Bull does
definitely not
really.
from them.
They do like really cool,
No, because you
elaborate
tell them everybody they're gonna have heart attacks.
events and stuff like that.
They do. They
like
did.
really crazy.
Remember those flying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Would you
They
jump
don't
out
do
of an
that anymore,
airplane?
do they?
Hell no.
Oh. What are you going to do at
Jump
Red
out of an
Bull?
airplane?
Yeah, he's
Red
gonna.
Bull, like it's like just gives you wings, so fly out of planes. No, my friend Tyler from Canada, shout out, buddy. He lost both of his legs skydiving, and he was a
Holy
professional
shit.
skydiver. So I'm not jumping out of
Whoa.
no planes.
Oh yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah.
Not
Hell
either.
no. Hell no.
But
Obviously doing
anyway.
that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we can get you a job at Red Bull or the Padres if
I
you decide
appreciate
to quit
that.
this life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Griffin, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
You're
thanks,
so
Ben.
welcome.
You brought the stories, and we can do a part 2. We can have you on for some other
Yeah,
ones.
there's a
Yeah, start collecting.
there's like some other ones.
I
that
think
are
he
pretty
already has them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But
and-
start thinking about
Yeah,
which ones.
we've had people move back in after we
Oh.
renovate the home and file bankruptcy,
Great.
and then they
Squatter
owe
rights.
us the money that we put into the
Oh.
home and
Of course. Lovely people.
all kinds of
The
stuff.
list goes
Yes.
on.
All
Anyway.
kinds of stuff.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thanks,
All right,
Ben.
guys.
Bye.
We'll see you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Behind the Lockbox is produced and edited by Property Showcase Group. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, or review this podcast. Thanks for your support. See you next week.